And we are back for another continue of the NBA 2K14. And you see the last episode down to the wire in overtime as the Lakers beat the Warriors by 2, 135 to 133, where Kobe Bryant hit the game-winning shot to save for the Lakers to stop the Warriors to try to keep the third spot below. So we're gonna check out the playoff picture right here as the Atlantic Division are show them out. So the Knicks and the Nets fighting for the division title race. That means it could be deciding for the chance for clinch the division title. That will be in the upcoming playoffs. They'll begin here. So the Knicks are just 2.0 game back for the Nets or no game back yet. So on the other hand, for the playoff picture, you see here the Brooklyn Nets are 29.5 game back to the New York Knicks to the chance to get in the playoff push. The season cases to the playoff on the line. The playoff spot will be hanging in the balance for the last, what now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the last 4 games of the season, down the last 4 days, we're going into the playoffs, and 6 days we're gonna start the playoffs for now. So we're off to Madison Square Garden in New York City as the Eastern Conference rivalry are doing a great matchup for you here in New York. It's gonna be interesting, featuring Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah of the Chicago Bulls take on Carmelo Anthony and J.R. Smith of the New York Knicks. This is the last matchup between those two teams. Chicago Bulls won the first 3 meetings against New York Knicks in the road and home in Chicago. That will be a good one here. The road in New York and the home twice in Chicago. So hopefully the Bulls try and go for the sweep or the Knicks try and go to avoid sweep and keeping the division title race. So for this game, the Chicago Bulls gonna use the black and the New York Knicks gonna use the white. So we're now going to send Kevin Harlan out here in Madison Square Garden, New York. We're sending out, and here we go. So let's get started. Enjoy. Here we go. Let's go.
Welcome everyone to NBA action here on 2K Sports. Sunday in the NBA. It'll be the Chicago Bulls facing off against the New York Knicks. And now we send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew. I'll see you at the half.
Ready for action are the Knicks. Coming to you live on 2K Sports. This is the NBA. Hi, everyone. Kevin Harlan alongside my broadcast partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. It's great to have you with us. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. And one of the players we'll be seeing in this one, Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, you know, even from his college days at Syracuse, Carmelo has always had the ability to step up in crunch time and more often than not deliver. When the fourth quarter rolls around, he seems to take his game to another level.
Well, with the way that Melo is able to create his own shot, Steve, off the dribble or in the post, that makes him very valuable and dangerous, particularly in the fourth quarter. I mean, he's a guy that makes it really hard to defend him because he's so versatile.
We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and this New York crowd wants some love from their Knicks. Victory eluded them last time in Chicago when they faced the Bulls. Whatever they can do to avoid a sweep here, they'll need to rebound and do it, but the momentum is definitely not in their favor.
Yeah, they gave away a lot of points at the free throw line in that game. Maybe it was being on the road, maybe they were just out of sync, but something had them rattled.
Steve, I don't know if it was the biggest reason for that loss, but clearly the misses from the stripe had an impact. People have talked about the defensive renaissance in Chicago as a big part of their turnaround, and that's accurate. Bibbs has done wonders for this team defensively, but another aspect is that they've had one of the deepest benches in the league the past few years, too.
He dishes it to Butler. Pass to Rose. Outside Boozer. The 11-footer gets it to go.
You know, that's one way he can finish, but not the only way. He's got a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
Going back to what you said, Clark, about Chicago, it is a credit to them that they've been able to constantly add or draft talent that is ready to step in for them and Steve contribute off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You think about Taj Gibson, a late first-round pick. Jimmy Butler last year really emerged as one of the best young players in the league. Great story. So, terrific job.
How about that basketball, man?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team. Trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now? It's their defense, that's for sure.
Gets it to go.
Good job creating just enough space to let that one fly.
And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That is his first foul of the game. On defense, New York. It's a three-point game. Dang goes in. That is good.
Pretty impressive. 5 straight makes to start this game.
Jimmy Butler was the last pick of the first round back in 2011 by the Bulls. And last season, I tell you what, he really solidified his place in the rotation, guys. He's still developing his outside shot, but he brings an awful lot to light to the table.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And they're getting out in transition, too, finding some easy points in the fast break. And he goes old school runs with the finger roll. Good look for New York.
Mariani comes in for Chandler. And as a non-jump it in for J.R. Smith. And for Jimmy Butler, what a story. Abandoned as a child, bounced around from home to home. One coach would take him in, other family would take him in. It was a very tough upbringing down in the Houston area. He overcame tremendous odds. And to be where he is today with the great attitude after a short time at Marquette, it speaks volumes of his character.
Well, it sure shows in his play, doesn't it? I mean, just the way he hustles and draws fouls, rebounds, defends. He can guard multiple positions out there. You just love his overall game and his toughness and what he brings to this team.
And the jam by Stoudemire.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He had absolutely hammered it down.
And that's the play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
Rose against Phil. Outside Rose. And that one is hammered home. Tremendous stuff from a guy, Clark, we think more of for his passing.
Yeah, but he's got tremendous leaping ability and a surplus supply, too.
Well, that's a great aggressive move and 2 big points, too.
Anthony, the pass to Shumpert. No stopping him there. Jams it. As he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. They get Carlos Boozer. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D. I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
The Bulls making a switch here. Ozzie Muhammad's checked in for Noah. Gibson comes in for Carlos Boozer. Mike Dunleavy, who's checked in for Lou Aldana. It's Heinrich in for Jimmy Butler.
I don't know how we're going to keep this pace up. Both teams on fire here early.
And playing the game on rollerblades, too.
By himself, rips down the breakaway slam.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Clark, what they wanted, the aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
That's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
46 seconds left in the first quarter. Shumpert, that's good. Shumpert's got 5 points.
defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
He feeds it to Dunley. From out on the wing, he knocks it down.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
26 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Prehion. Teague covering. And Prehion gets the mark. And it's blocked by Muhammad. A nice shot by Teague.
Those are the kind of nice inside looks they've gotten in the first half here.
And I think they should really continue to work it down low, Clark. That's really going to free up the rest of their offense.
It's the end of the first with a tie game here. And already these offenses, Clark, are clicking. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
On tap this Wednesday, April 16th, Paul George and the Indiana Pacers go up against the Orlando Magic. Live from Orlando. Be there.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start. The second quarter. And what stands out to you from New York in this one?
Boy, a ton of threes in that first quarter. This team really lighting it up, guys.
Yeah, it's been an onslaught from downtown.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And New York looking at who they got. Hardaway is out there with Papa Brady on him. Then it's Anthony. Then there's World Peace. And it's Martin in at the center. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Knicks.
Well, they've definitely had the hot hand. From the three-point line so far. Always nice to start out like that.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there. He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
Heinrich against Hardaway. Feeds to Prehioni. Back to Hardaway. New York moving the ball around. And Anthony gets it to go on the assist from Hardaway. 9 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Well, sometimes, guys, you can forget he's out there, and all of a sudden, bang, he'll string together 3 or 4 shots in a row and just take over the game.
And the consistency of his jump shot is another thing we should say about him. I mean, it doesn't matter how many defenders are flying at him, his stroke is never changing.
Backing down. And there's the pass to Prehioni. Another shot. And Martin with a nice bucket inside. Martin's got 4 points this quarter.
Well, they've really cranked up the intensity, tracking down those loose caroms, stacking up second chance buckets in big piles.
And those hustle points, Clark, I mean, that's just another reason why they've got the lead here.
Guys, Kenyon Martin was signed by the Knicks towards the end of last season as they dealt with a litany of injuries, and he really delivered. I mean, he's 35 years old, microfracture surgery on both knees. He's still got some bounce in those legs, and we know he's got plenty of intensity.
And he should thank the defense for those 2 points, really. Nobody paid him any mind there. And another foul would give him 3 before the half, something to keep off.
Chicago making a switch here. And you look at Kenyon Martin, a the biggest frame inside, 6'9", about 240, but he is still a difference maker on the defensive end.
Yeah, he is shot blocker, tough defender, never backs down, and always has done a good job finishing in the lane. Remember, he was the #1 overall draft pick back in 2000.
Shots good from Butler. For the New York Knicks, they come in off a good outing against the Raptors.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And to do it on the road, too, I mean, with the way they just kept coming at them, they kept that crowd out of the game the entire time. That's good work.
The Knicks have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point.
Well, guys, with the Knicks playing a space-the-floor, pick-and-roll offensive scheme, I mean, Tyson Chandler is a hand-in-glove fit as the high-flying finisher inside, keeping defenses honest, and then cleaning up the mess on the weak side board if shots are missed.
Here's Rose. That one goes. Count it. Rose has got 6 points.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
Clark, you talked about what Chandler has meant for this Knicks team, both on the court and in the locker room. And you wonder, if Dallas, Steve had it to do over it, do you think they would have tried harder to re-sign him?
Well, I understood the plan. Dallas felt like with their position getting older, they had to save that capital for a superstar, maybe Dwight Howard or Chris Paul. But it's always easy in hindsight when those things don't happen to say, hey, what were you doing?
A look from Rose. Again, Chicago.
It was a slow start for him, but he started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Felton kicks to Anthony. Pass to Smith from outside the arc. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. 6 points for J.R. Smith.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
Yeah, in fact, 3 of the last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
And so New York calls timeout.
I think when you look at Derrick Rose, the most intimidating thing about him is his elite speed. But you also have to consider his size. He's well put together, about 6'3", maybe just a shade over 200 pounds. He is a handful and he's coming at you fast with that strong body and explosive.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Bargnani is checked in for Stoudemire. And Earl Watson is subbed in for Carmelo Anthony. Really left alone that time. 8 points for Butler.
How about that for a response?
They will say they can give the three as well as they can take the three.
And Clark, you mentioned the size of Derrick Rose. 6'3", not just a speedster, but the combination of quickness and power. I've always thought that, Steve. He goes in there, and he would be a very tough guy to try to stop when he's got a full head of steam.
No question. Wow. He's coming at you with that burst and strength. That's why he's so overpowering as a point guard.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Carlos Boozer. There's 53 seconds left to play here in the half. Chandler gets the screen from Bargnani, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
A moment now to take a look at some of the stats for Jimmy Butler. First in field goal percentage, first in three-point field goal percentage, and showing what a good defender he is, and especially his ability to play passing lanes. He ranks among the top 15 in the league in steals per game.
I don't think we can overlook the fact that he's the top field goal percentage shooter in the league. I mean, lights out. That's really the only way to describe it. He doesn't miss much.
And here's the fast break. Watson leading the way, and J.R. Smith with the slam.
Example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition plan for the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Now Watson. J.R. Smith on the wing. And there's the feed to Bargnani. From 6 feet, and the Knicks good for 2. Now Heinrich, averaging 6 points per contest. Dang, covered by Smith. Here's Dang. Sweet little floater. Dang's got 13.
You know, the teardrop sometimes is one of those, oh Oh, no. Oh, yeah, shot.
Here's Shumpy. Shot, no good. It's a tie game in New York. Stay right where you are for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. We'll see you in just a bit for the start of the second half.
And now, brought to you by Sprint. Welcome to 2K Sports. It's been a great Sunday of basketball so far. The Knicks have been plugging away. This is a tough matchup for them on paper, but they've been up to the challenge. Everything's going right for Carmelo Anthony. He's all over the court against Chicago. Seems like everything's falling for him. Not sure if he even knows how to miss. The Bulls getting after it as well. Offensively, they're making it look ridiculously easy. Everything's falling. Luol Deng's been clicking through the first two. We're at halftime, and still, he hasn't missed a shot. It's been a pure shooting exhibition. Looking at the games that are coming up in the NBA. The Nets out in Brooklyn will go up against the Magic. That's a game the home crowd has been looking forward to. Game gets going at 6 p.m. Eastern. And one game also on the docket. For the Raptors, they'll be up against the Pistons out in Detroit. Some Eastern teams doing battle. And another game that's coming up, the Oklahoma City Thunder will go up against the Pacers in Indianapolis. Game gets going at 6 p.m. Eastern. And it's time now to head back to New York. We'll see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. Carmelo Anthony really has his fingerprints all over this one.
And what was most impressive was that his decision-making and shot-taking was very disciplined and efficient. Really an excellent half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he's taking only what the defense has given him, and he's not trying to do too much. I love the flow and rhythm he's playing with here.
Taking a look at the Bulls. On the wings, Butler and Deng. Up front, Boozer and Noah. And it's Rose in at the point. Felton kicks to Anthony. Stoudemire trying to break free. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Felton. 18 points for Carmelo Anthony.
You know, guys, Carmelo Anthony last year played pretty much full-time at the power forward position. And the results were excellent. I mean, he's got the strength to play inside. And when you look at what he does offensively, it creates a lot of matchup advantages for him and his team.
Back to Smith. He passes to Felton. And again, New York with the triple.
Perfect on the first three shots now. That's the way to start the second half.
Let's go to the 2K leaderboard. For the past 10 games, these teams have been fantastic on rebounding. Number 5, the Bulls.
Now, what a show of strength and rebounding we've seen recently. These guys playing extremely physically.
Bulls trail by 3. And you look at Carmelo. Do you think, Steve, maybe the success that LeBron had going inside and playing the 4 had any influence on Melo playing inside?
I think there's no doubt, Kevin. The league has gone smaller in a lot of ways. A lot of former 3 men are now becoming 4s. The only way to do that, though, is if you have the strength to deal with bigger players, and Melo certainly has that strength. And it feels like the energy has just picked up big time here, and both teams now feeding off each other's intensity.
I don't know what was said in the locker rooms at halftime, Steve, but it's obvious both sides have responded well. You can see the icon. There, gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Parker. Their teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make it a close game. A potential momentum builder.
Maybe could have. For a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
You know, they've got a nice lead. Don't take any chances. The simple one-hander is just fine.
Butler kicks to Boozer. The dish to Rose. Lets it go from 11. Another one falls for Chicago.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Well, right here, Kevin, we can get a look at New York and what kind of numbers they put up these last 10 games. 6th in scoring, 8th in assists. And they are in the top 10 in field goal percentage. This is a team that shows excellent discipline at the offensive end.
And the points per game really stand out to me, Clark, when you're talking about all those numbers, because this is a team that's very well coached, and they seem to get good shots every trip down the floor. I think they've got a good plan. They have great spacing. And when you combine that with unselfishness, you're going to see a team that scores pretty consistently.
Felton kicks to Brihion. Hardaway. And again, New York with the triple.
And those are not the kind of three-point opportunities you can give to shooters in the NBA. These guys are just too good.
You're exactly right. It'll burn you every time, just like it's burning them here.
And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. Here we are, 2 games left before the start of the playoffs. Let's take a look at the possible field. You look at Chicago. They're second in the conference and looking to finish strong heading into the playoffs. And checking out New York. Quite a few spots down the ladder right now.
Checking out Chicago, they've continued their breakout season. I mean, they've showed tremendous promise thus far, and I'm looking for big things from this team.
Yeah, Clark, as the postseason approaches, there's plenty of optimism, but as you know, the playoffs are a whole different animal. Let's see if they can continue that momentum. And I like that move to the hoop. You use your speed, go around the bigger defender.
Third quarter of basketball here in just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Here's Martin, and again it's New York.
A very solid offensive execution out there.
Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high, fantastic one-hand jam.
Yeah, what a way to wrap up that possession.
Chandler with the screen on Teague. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
Looked like some miscommunication there offensively. Those guys were not on the same page.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Heinrich dishes to Noah. Hit his foot. And the refs whistling a kick ball. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. And let's take a second to view a list of shooting guards who have been very dependable offensively this season. These 2 guards are the most accurate in the league. You look at Butler, leading the league in field goal percentage. He always gets good looks.
Now, he's not a wasteful player. I mean, that much we've learned. He makes the most of the good looks he gets. And if it's not there, he's not going to force a bad shot.
But you know what, Steve? It's not all about shot selection. Let's not overlook what an unbelievable shooter he is, period. I mean, he can knock them down from all over the court with defenders draped all over.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Knicks.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
And another thing that's obviously helped them here, guys, is how hot they've been from the three-point line. They've been on fire. You know, he's as close to a sure thing as you can possibly have when he steps to the line.
And counting. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line. New York shooting their 6th attempt at the charity stripe in the game.
Yeah, this is a very good free throw shooting team, guys. I mean, you look at the numbers, impressive.
And the word is they challenge each other, guys. I mean, each and every one of them to improve their free throw shooting in the offseason. Held each other accountable in that area. And now you see the results individually and as a whole.
And here we go with Anthony running it up the court. And yes, sir, that one drops. So it's a 7-point Knicks lead.
Even with the D lurking, he made it look easy with the soft finger roll.
Outside Butler. Back to Heinrich. He kicks to Boozer. Good. Boozer's got 12 in the game.
You can see that they're not as aggressive from the three-point arc. They had far more attempts in the first half.
Now here is Smith. He's got 13. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Smith. Smith's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Here's Dang. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And a great show through 3 quarters. As we enter the 4th, who will carry the day? New York ahead, up by 7. Don't go anywhere. The final quarter is coming up next on 2K Sports.
The playoff push is on. Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors hit the road for a duel with the Denver Nuggets. Wednesday night basketball. Don't miss it.
Fourth quarter just moments away now as we welcome you back. And here are the Bulls now. They trail by 7. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
I thought the way they attacked the rim and got into the paint was phenomenal. It seemed like after a while, the defense just kind of waved the white flag.
That's exactly what will happen when a team continues to attack the goal and come away with layups. It demoralizes the defense.
Stoudemire and Chandler together up front. Earl Watson out there with Felton. And it's Smith in at the small forward position. That's the 5 for New York right now. Rose passes to Dent. Back to Rose. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Puts up a 3. Hits the bucket.
You know, nobody responds to end-of-game pressure like this guy. That's what comes to mind immediately for me. He's hit some monumental shots in his career. Some guys just embrace the moment at the end of the game. That's him.
You know, one of his other qualities, Steve, is how quickly he starts to break. I mean, he doesn't need numbers either. He can be a coast-to-coast, rack-to-rack guy all by himself.
And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better.
But both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, guys. Over that break, I was able to catch the message. Mike Woodson was giving to his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
Down low, here's Anthony, and the bucket counts, and his eyes were to the free throw. Try to make it a 3-point play.
That's some grit and determination in the post. Essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Exactly. I mean, this is the time to attack on the interior and generate those easy opportunities.
Rose goes in. That's good. Rose has got 9 points here in the second half.
You know, size-wise, this is not a great one-on-one matchup for him, but he got that shot to go.
But you wouldn't know about how he finished. That's a nice hoop there.
Anthony drawing the double team. Smith outside. Fires for 3. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got 6 assists now in the game.
You know, the offensive end, he's not allowed as much as they could have hoped for today.
Tang with the screen for Butler. Back to Gibson. Wants to get it to Rose, and does. There's the bucket. Good. Rose has got 19 points.
He's been hot here in the 4th, contributing big at the right time.
Well, he's basically hitting everything he's throwing up there. 4 for 4 shooting here in the 4th.
To go.
There's 6 points on consecutive free balls. They're finding holes in this defense.
It should be easy to correct, though, if you start making the right rotations defensively.
Mutts in the clutch. He's 5 for 5 from the field here in the 4th.
Well, they keep giving him the ball, and it's working, so I wouldn't change a thing.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot.
Inside, here's Butler, and that one's good.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
It's a great formula, and it's really a sign that the offense is clicking.
He's their go-to guy. When he shoots the ball like he has today, what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Bulls trail by 7. Dang can't get it to go.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Poked away. It's stolen by Rose. And the rejection by Stoudemire. And Chandler, here we go, somehow ignores the tight D and gets the layup. It's a 9-point Knicks lead.
And he will take the ball right into the of the defense.
Carlos Boozer's checked in for Chicago. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. .143 left to play here in the fourth. And the rejection by Stoudemire.
They've done their part here to run down a lot of missed shots. A solid rebounding effort.
Yeah, I'm impressed. I mean, they're fighting for every loose ball, putting a body on somebody and going after the win.
Stoudemire showing you that explosiveness.
Boozer kicks to Butler. And the rejection by Smith. To the paint, Anthony. He's covered by Boozer. And it's Anthony with the jam.
And every point they get now. Puts them one step closer to the W.
If they're not there already, Steve, just a tremendous all-around game of basketball they play.
Look from Dang. The shot goes down. Very quick possession right there.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
And the jam by Stoudemire.
Just putting on a passing display out there.
Well, just add another fantastic assist to the highlight reel for this guy.
Right side, Butler. In low to Boozer, and the shot is good.
Good job of spotting his teammate near the basket and zipping the pass right in there.
Felton kicks to Stoudemire, and that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton.
And a terrific run to really put this ball game away.
And now let's see how many more points they can throw up there before the horn sounds.
That's good. New York's gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3. Let's go. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession. So for the Bulls. There's 38 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And it's Meta World Peace with the foul. That's his first foul.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
But he recovers it. Snell. Good on the three-point shot.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal it.
No question about it. That would be all she wrote.
And finished off by Martin.
They got to feel pretty good about this win tonight, guys. Defending their home.
Yeah, and just riding it out here now. I mean, they gave the fans what they wanted.
Chicago calls timeout. They're behind by 10. We've got 22 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
Well, this one's out of reach, so I'm not sure why they're calling the timeout here. Maybe just to try to work on something, maybe an out-of-bounds play or something.
Well, they might as well talk about what movies they want to see or what they want to surf on the internet because this one's done, boys.
11 feet away. Here's Brioni, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
Time to turn out the lights on this game.
I think they deserve a ton of credit for the way they played here today. Truly a professional display, and that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
No one covered. Here's Martin. Goes up with a stripe. Misses. So it's New York picking up the win. Both teams playing well, but these guys have the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, J.R. Smith.
So this was a win here today for the New York Knicks as they keeping for the division title hopes remains. And check the Knicks upcoming games coming up. They're down the last two games there. They're against Brooklyn and Toronto, trying to keep the end of the playoff dreams finish. So we're going to check out some field box score. 27 points for Carmelo Anthony, 21 points for J.R. Smith. On the other hand, for Chicago, Derrick Rose got 22. And we're gonna skip all the way to Timberwolves Kings. We got the Raptors and the Pistons. Pistons win by 11. Maron and Hamilton got double-double. Lowry got 18 points. That was not. Magic and the Nets. And Magic win. And that means there could be a division title on the line. Darren Williams not even get triple-double. Kevin Garnett got 20. Aaron Aflalo got 24. Turku got 23. And Glenn Davis got 22. Thunder and the Pacers, and Pacers with the win over the Thunder, 115-114. Paul George got 29, Ranger got 27, Hill got 20, Durant got double-double, Westbrook 21, and Ibaka also double-double. Warriors and the Blazers, and Warriors win by 11, 122 to 111. 31 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds for Lamarcus Aldridge. Damian Lillard got not a good triple-double. CJ McCollum with 23. Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry both 25 points. And David Lee 19-12 rebounds. And the last one, Timberwolves and the Kings. And Timberwolves dominate win by 42. Carl Landry not get triple-double. Kevin Martin not also triple-double. Kevin Love got 28, 11. And Ricky Rubio does have triple-double. So now for the last match of the day, we're on to downtown LA, California. That will be another Western Conference important race here today. The Lakers, the last two have faced against the Utah Jazz, with Mavericks and Detroit are the last game of the season. As Dallas Mavericks will be the last game that was facing Memphis. The LA Lakers trying to keeping the third spot over the team with the, I believe was the Lakers, trying to keep in the number 4 spot below. If they win here tonight, they try and get another 51 wins, try to get the last 3. If they get 51 wins today, if a chance to tie it Dallas to get the third spot or get out. So on the other hand, the Clippers trying to get a 6 seed. They're down the last 2 games. They're facing the Nuggets and the Clippers trying to get to the playoff, trying to look to win here today to try to get the third seed slot. So far, the Kings are never lost in November since it was the first victory against the Utah Jazz, including the 4-game win streak again with the Mavericks, Utah, and Phoenix. Inside the season, not keeping losing streak until another upset. They defeated against the Pelicans They win against the Nuggets and the Jazz, and that was the biggest win of the season. It was the Houston Rockets, the biggest win of the season for Sacramento fans. That was a huge upset. That was interesting. That was the biggest win of the night for Sacramento. This is the biggest upset in Kings history. So then we wrap up here tonight. Here in New York, as the Knicks beat the Bulls by 107 to 100, keeping the Atlantic Division title hopes alive. So we're on to Staples Center in LA. It's gonna be the Western Conference playoff matchup. The playoff push will be on the finale his chance if the Grizzlies try to get in, keeping 7th spot if they lose one of the most games with Golden State. So we're off to Staples Center in LA. We got a 2 of the West matchup here tonight. Marc Gasol and Mike Conley of the Memphis Grizzlies take on Kobe Bryant and Paul Gasol of the Los Angeles Lakers. So that'll do it for now. This is Andre Kenshin as the Knicks beat the Bulls by 107 to 100. This is Andre Kenshin saying song from Madison Square Garden in New York City. We'll see you later for the second game from Staples Center in LA for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Lakers. It's time to say sign up and peace out. Goodbye and reminder, we'll see you later for the second game here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. The Memphis Grizzlies and the Los Angeles Lakers. Sign up and peace out. Good night, and we'll see you later for the second game here in LA.